You know, especially when you think about it, the last 3 to 5 years, how far we've come from basically being non-existent to what we've seen today. So I would say over the next 3 to 5 years, we'd see obviously this become a lot more mainstream since we've seen a number of banks and credit unions get involved, but still there's a large majority that have not made some decisions around mobile. So clearly a mainstream product offering for consumers and also business banking clients of the institutions. I think you'd see usage at or above internet banking just on what we're seeing in consumer behavior with mobile devices. So you can make the case that there will be as many users, if not more, than we see with internet banking today, and obviously in a much shorter window. So pretty exciting. Yeah, so I think one of the ways banks gain market share is to have a mobile solution, right, and to communicate about it clearly and make it a priority versus a just check the box solution that they've done as a competitive position. I think so having it first clearly, and then secondly thinking about the customers they're trying to target and what products would make sense. So when you think about the convenience of, we've heard a lot about remote deposit capture, and does that make sense based on the strategic plans for the institution? Person-to-person payments, the ability to send money to anybody as long as you have an email address or a phone number. And then also maybe to communicate, to use the channel, not just for self-service or funds transfer, but also to communicate about other products. So you've got a very engaged customer if they're involved in mobile with you, and so the ability to communicate about new products and allow the consumer in seconds to respond to either get more information, enroll for a product, maybe fill out a quick application, so leverage mobile for those things as well. So we are excited about a lot of innovation that's going on in the industry and what we're bringing to market. Some that we've already brought to market, including the ability to do person-to-person payments, so the ability to get on my phone, register with my financial institution for that service, and then be able to send money to anybody as long as I have their email address or mobile phone number, have them receive that information, a notification that I've sent them money, and then register, receive those funds, and then the receiver have the ability to deposit those funds wherever it best fits for them. So the idea of actually being able to leverage mobile in real time to send funds to anyone has been a great product that we're excited about and we've seen great results from. In addition to that, mobile remote deposit capture. So we've seen obviously institutions like USAA that's been featured a lot that go after that based on their branchless model and so forth, but the ability to support that within the Firethorn application where we've already got so many users and have the ability to do that in the same application, not necessarily having to go out and use a separate application. So take a picture of the check, submit that to the institution to be processed through their existing image processing system, and then have those funds be deposited and clearly allow the institution to use whatever security features, windows they use today for those funds being available. And the last really is in the marketing world, there's been a lot of question about how do we leverage mobile in such a way that we can sell new products as a financial services industry, maybe get new customers. And so the ability to leverage marketing messages, but then also response from the consumer. So we can get messages out to existing customers or potentially new customers through the mobile channel. In particular with Firethorn, since we support multiple institutions in the same application, have the ability for those messages to come out to consumers and the consumer respond for those services, enroll for a particular service, fill out a quick application for a service, maybe call into a call center if it's more complex. So give her a number of opportunities for consumers to have different behavior at the time they're aware of the products. For banks, as they think about mobile commerce, I think they have to think broadly, because today I think there's been a lot of obviously distractions that aren't connected to mobile for the financial services industry. And so, as we've seen just in the last few years, I think things have changed quite a bit. And as we talk about mobile commerce, that's really an extension of what we've seen with mobile banking. So the ability to think about how this impacts their card issuing business and what they're going to do there in transactions and what goes on in the merchant world. Because mobile commerce is much broader than mobile banking in the way that we think about it. And so clearly it is about having a good, solid mobile banking solution. But then it's also about what other areas within inside the financial institution does this touch, and how do banks interact with mobile commerce that's maybe outside of their walls. There's a number of reasons why banks, credit unions, and others have not adopted a mobile solution yet. I think number one, it's inherent to the industry, right? It's a very conservative industry for the most part, so it is a kind of wait and let's see how the other guys do for the most part. So that's part of it. I think clearly the distractions of the last year and a half and what we've seen, from an economic standpoint and also from a regulatory standpoint, have been just taking resources out, which is certainly understandable. Going forward, I think it's one of the things that it has to be put into the budget process. I think that's part of it, right? So making sure that's there, and then also looking at and leveraging what ROI we've seen from other institutions. So looking at this channel differently, and maybe with some of the other new products that are broader than traditional, just get balances, pay bills, maybe transfer funds, and look at some other ones that may actually have some either other retention benefits or actually the ability to charge for some of those transactions.